this? It's that. I got it. Welcome to Sunrise Spotlight. I am Teresa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. Thank you for joining us on our very first show from the studio in nearly 2.5 years, I think, since we've been in person in a studio. We're here at TCoast Studios, and I want to thank all of them here for hosting us today. And of course, it's so fitting that we start the Sunrise Spotlight show with the one, the only mayor of the beautiful city of Fort Pierce. As you know, we're rotating commissioners and mayors, but we get to start the in-studio process with Mayor Linda Hudson. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
It's so exciting to be here.
Yes.
I know that, so we kind of sprung this on you yesterday. We're going to be in the studio. We're going to be live. And you're
Whatever.
like, right, where are we going?
Yeah.
But what are we doing? But it doesn't change the topic. We're trying to talk about all things Fort Pierce on this show, and we'll make sure that everybody knows where to view it. It's going to be on our YouTube page. It's live on Facebook. We're live right now. People can ask questions, and Dira usually fields those for us.
Okay.
And hopefully they show up on the screen for us to read. And if we don't like them, we can skip over them.
I like that.
Yeah. The questions are optional for us.
Yeah.
But everybody can see them on Facebook, but that's okay. So we want to talk about everything that's going on in Fort Pierce. And for the first time since I've been here since 2004, I feel like Fort Pierce has always been the hub for entertainment. You know,
Okay.
Downtown,
Yep.
the Friday Fest,
Fest.
the beaches. If you want to go to the beach, you got to go to Fort. But I'm starting to see so much industry coming to Fort Pierce as well.
It's so important. It's so important to us, and we've wanted that for a long time, and now we're on the verge.
You are.
Yeah.
And it's an interesting time because it's like it's going to blow up or not. And you're not sure once it starts blowing which way it's going to go.
You know, you feel like you might at some point be out of control, and you don't want to be out of control because you have many citizens that are telling you, oh, let's keep it to be the small town that we are. We like the small town feel, which I do too.
Mm-hmm.
And but there are things happening that are bringing people to Fort Pierce. And so we have to deal with both of those things.
It is. It's always hard for local government to balance growth and quality of life, and you know, and I don't envy you in that respect.
Nobody ever wants anything to change.
No, I was just going to say, and everybody wants to be the last one here. Like, I've moved here, now shut it down.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Put up the
nice
gates.
like it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. We're done, right?
Yeah,
You're not
right.
going to let anybody else move here.
Right.
So yes, I do get that. We get that on all our shows too. For like, it's funny to me, in one of our newer communities towards tradition, somebody said, we moved here because it was so quiet and there wasn't all these houses. And I'm like, you know that 5 people from other neighborhoods said that about you when we built your area, you know?
It happens.
Yeah.
It happens all the time.
And I think for the first time, huge percentage of growth in the city of Fort Pierce.
Yep. Yes. That we got some big projects coming. King's Landing, we might as well talk about that. That's been on the books for a couple of years and kind of got sidelined because of the pandemic a little bit, but also because it just takes a long time to get all the pieces together and people to agree to it. So we're kind of at the end of the process. And so we had a special planning board the other night, and the planning board approved moving it on. There's a couple of wrinkles that have to be figured out. One is they're now proposing an 11-story building for the condos, and that is that's going to cause some concern. Yeah, we have to figure that out, and also parking, because parking is a problem in downtown Fort Pierce. More of a perceived problem than an actual problem, but it's really, there's plenty of parking spaces. It's just people don't want to walk across the railroad track, don't want to cross US 1, don't want to walk that far. So we're trying to do something about parking too. And King's Landing will increase the need for parking. And so we have to figure out that. So those are 2 pieces of the puzzle that haven't been figured out yet.
So King's Landing is a lot of pieces. There's a condo building. They intend to have some retail, some restaurants. So mixed use there, and then a hotel. So the density, as they say in planning terms, city speak.
Yeah.
is quite large, meaning it's going to attract a lot of people, and the parking requirement for all of downtown Fort Pierce is because it's an entertainment district is 0.
Right. Like many other downtowns. I didn't
Yeah.
know that,
Yeah.
but
Very
the
common.
planner said that most downtowns are like that. So everybody has to figure out that puzzle.
Yeah. So you're not required. So if you build a Walmart, in a lot somewhere in anywhere else besides a downtown entertainment district, you're going to be required to have a certain amount of parking spaces.
Right. In other districts, in other zoning districts, but not downtown.
Yeah, not in entertainment districts typically, which downtown is.
Right.
So, and we talked about it this morning at another meeting we had, that I never have a problem parking in downtown Fort Pierce. So this when you say perceived, I kind of agree with you, because I've never had to leave because I couldn't find a parking spot. And I've parked in the garage. They pointed out I get a little lucky with parking, but I have parked in the garage. I do walk over. I feel like it's good for me.
And there's other remote parking, ground surface parking that requires a little walk, and I've done that too.
Yeah.
And I don't mind the walk myself. It gives me exercise.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. I'm not going to go home and run, so this is good enough. Right. I've walked from the garage to Crazy Fish.
Yeah. Exactly.
And I like the parking garage down by the courthouse. If I go to the courthouse, I go directly to that parking garage. So we do have parking.
Yeah.
But you're right. I think in this new world, people want it to be curbside out front.
Because that's the way it always has been in Fort Pierce.
Yeah.
It always has been. So I get it.
As they say, it's a good problem to have.
Yep.
Because that means that Second Street Bistro has been there for a long time. How many times has that turned over?
Right, but not lately.
Not in a very long time.
I mean, that's a very successful restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got lots of establishments downtown that are booming.
Mm-hmm. Pickled is new, and I love that place. I think it's doing well.
Pickled, yeah, exactly. And even the smaller ones are doing well, like the beach bowls and those kind of things.
Oh yeah, the beach bowls.
And the Galleria.
The
is it Havana Nights in the Galleria? It's a Havana something.
Yeah.
Anyway, there's a lot of you can have any kind of food you want in downtown Fort Pierce.
You really can.
Feel like it's a small town feel. It does have a small town.
There's no Cheesecake Factory or
No. There used to be a 7-Eleven, and it's not there anymore. And so now it's a Dunkin' Donuts, and it's fine.
Yeah.
It's at the middle, and there's a lot of coffee. You can get really, really designer coffee at the coffee company and First Wave, and so Mervis's.
Or you can get Dunkin'.
Mervis's, yeah. Mervis's, I know.
If you want coffee, Mervis.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
Yes. There's nobody else in the world that makes cafe con leche.
No.
Like Avel at Mervis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love them.
Good.
So,
and what a success story they are. They've been in business for forever.
Yeah.
Fisherman's Wharf. Plodding along.
Yes. Still, I think we're in due diligence now.
Okay.
We're in that phase. And so that'll probably be done by the first of the year. And so we haven't talked about it lately because we approved, and now that they're going to have to do their due diligence in terms of the submerged lands and what's on the property. And, because Fort Pierce is so old, you never know what you're going to find underneath
start
the
digging,
surface.
yes. You start digging, and it was a working fort.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't know what you're going to find once you start digging.
A working port.
Yeah.
Yes.
Port, and then we had the fort not too far from there.
Yeah, the old Indian fort, which was 1837. I mean, it wasn't a fort for very long.
It wasn't?
No. It was.
We've already got all those artifacts dug up in the history
I won't
museum.
say that because I don't know that, but that has a midden on it, a burial ground from previous Indians, the Ice Indians. So that's a really old burial ground.
Yeah. So it could be anything.
Yep. It needs to be protected.
Yeah. That's kind of cool though.
Yeah.
So that's plodding along. King's Landing is working through it.
Yeah. And we're gonna this December go back to some of our holiday things that we gave up for the pandemic. So the Sights and Sounds Holiday Parade is going to be December 5th.
Okay.
Put on by Main Street and Kiwanis. They do the parade.
Okay.
Sights and Sound Parade. The Christmas lights, what they call the dancing holiday lights at Marina Square with the music and the lights will be back. And the boat parade, I understand, is coming back. I think it's December the 11th. I think that's sponsored by Marine Industries
It is.
Association. Yeah, of the Treasure Coast. And we're having the ghost tour right now tonight and tomorrow at
Main Street.
Main Street. Yeah, yeah. And so our Christmas holidays are going to look a lot like, I'm sure Manatee Observation and Education Center is going to have holiday programs. It's a little early to know what specifics going to happen, but our downtown and our marina and our restaurants and our Downtown Business Alliance is really thriving, and they're getting along with each other and supporting each other. And so it's a great little town right now.
It is. And so many people are passionate about what happens there. I actually just had lunch with Doris like 2 weeks ago, and just that woman is so passionate about everything downtown Fort Pierce.
She's lived it all these years.
She has. She's been prominent with the restoration of Sunrise, and she really has put all of it, her whole person into downtown Fort Pierce.
She has. And but our beach is also booming too, and we have new parking on the inlet that you can, because we needed that desperately, because we have a whole entertainment district on the beach.
The
used
jetty.
to be just the jetty and Square Grouper and Manatee Island, but it used to be just Archie's.
Yeah, Archie's was
Archie's and the Jetty Lounge.
Yes, the Jetty Lounge. I don't think they've cleaned it. They're not members, so I can say that. But it's ambiance.
Yes.
But it is the Jetty Lounge. It's been there forever.
It has.
But Archie's and the Jetty have been out there, and then there was always a restaurant of some sort next to the Jetty.
Yep.
And with the
Funpuckers or something like that used to be. But now it's
Blue Water.
No, it's
Hurricane
and Taco Dive.
Oh, and Taco Dive's out there.
Dive. Yeah.
But the Square Grouper, all that stuff, that was a little tough on parking, I have to say. And I have been to the Jetty where I, rode around in circles a little bit, trying to get those restaurants. So that parking is much needed.
And it's there now. Yep. Between Square Grouper and Manatee Island.
Yep. Perfect.
So it's leased. It won't always be there, but for right now it's leased. So we've added to parking on the beach, which was sorely needed.
Yeah. Our beaches are really pristine, as many people know. Here in St. Lucie County, I don't remember how many miles, 22 miles of beaches?
Something like that.
Yeah, it's a lot.
20 plus, yeah.
And they're very pristine. It's not like when you go down south where you're going to have restaurants and guards and people are coming in from all over the world to go to these beaches. And they do that, but ours are very untouched, I would like to say.
And uncrowded.
Yeah.
And so you have a lot of beach access. You have the actual formal parks like Kimberly Begalis and South Surfside and the Jetty Beach and JC Park. But you also have a bunch of little beaches that are beach access. That is
the Dog Beach and
that's way down. That's south in the county.
Yes, and then north in the county you have
Pepper Park and
what are they calling the naturalist beach? I can't remember.
I don't know.
I'll think of it. It'll come to me. It's the Treasure Coast Naturists.
Oh, okay.
Naturalist.
Oh, okay.
But I forget what the name of it. Blind Creek.
Oh, that's Blind Creek?
Yep.
Okay. You taught me something.
Yep, Blind Creek.
Okay, I know where Blind Creek is.
You do?
Yes.
It is a naturalist beach.
Well, I'm glad you told me that.
Okay, and I don't want you to wander out there and be surprised. But yes, Blind Creek is a naturalist beach. Okay. So good to know. Right up by the Navy SEAL. So in November, there's a lot going on in Fort Pierce. We have muster from the Navy SEAL Museum.
Right.
Is the first weekend of November.
Yes.
Along with the Firefighters Challenge, which is in downtown.
Yes, the first week. That's right, in downtown. Yes, it's the World Combat Firefighters Challenge. So I think we've had the regional and the state, Fort Pierce, and now we have the world. So
yeah, they were impressed. They came through a year or two ago and were impressed. I think it was a year ago. And so they brought the world championship here, which is exciting.
Very. It's going to be crowded in downtown, but it's family friendly and it's competition. So
yeah. So that's setting up in front of Bacchus Manatee Seven Gables.
Right.
And of course, Friday Fest is going on that same weekend. Muster is going on that same weekend. We have the market on Saturday and so downtown Fort Pierce is going to be hopping.
Yep.
the 3rd through the 4th or 5th or whatever that is. So I want everybody to, and also I'll let everybody know at home, allthingstreasurecoast.com. You can actually look for more information on all the events that we're talking about, sights and sounds, the boat parade, all that stuff will be on allthingstreasurecoast.com. So we want people to be able to find information. Our calendar at the Chamber just has our calendar events, which is enough to fill up a calendar.
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah,
right.
but we have All Things Treasure Coast that picks up the slack for everybody else's events that are going on. So
Good.
we're excited about that.
So do you know about our new website, Choose Fort Pierce? It's an economic development website. You can put in ChooseFortPiers.com and it will take you to, it's not a sub-site of our Fort Pierce website, but it's a sister site. And it's got maps and demographic information and building permit information, any kind of information the 3 pull down menus are people who live here, or grow Fort Pierce, live in Fort Pierce, or visit Fort Pierce. So you can pull down and get all kinds of information about Fort Pierce.
And is this somebody you brought in a partner to do with, or I'm gonna have to get more information on
yes.
that. Okay.
And it's a work in progress. I mean, there's a lot up. I've played around with it, and there's some things that I think it would be a beta version right now.
I got that.
We're going to improve it, but we want anybody who wants to move here, to grow their business here, to establish a business here, to look at that website and find out all the information that they have. It's going to be really great.
So I just purchased a business website that does some similar things, I think, but it's basically, I want to open up a coffee shop. And if I'm a coffee shop, where should I go? What could I expect to have to pay my people? What's the demographic here? What's the median income here? What's the disposable income here? And how much can I project my profits to be? And
wow, that's great. And don't you do that service where you tell people what they have to do in terms of business navigation with Port St. Lucie particularly?
Yeah, particularly. We do it for everybody because I'm the St. Lucie County Chamber and I'm one chamber, so I do it for everybody. But Port St. Lucie is
started with them.
Yeah, and they've given us a grant to do it.
Yeah.
And so basically you come to me and say, I want to open a donut shop. And I say, okay, let's look at demographics with this new program I have. This is probably the best place. If you have a drive-through, you'll get more money. If you don't have a drive-through, this is how much you can expect to pay your people. Okay, you've decided. Well, let's go take a look at the spot because I have another program that says, this is a perfect place for this. The bathrooms are already ADA. The drive-through's already been permitted. It looks like your firewall's intact. This is a good spot. Let's go here. Now let's go get your business tax license. And then you're going to have your firewall permit. So we try to know the process in general as a whole. I can't get into the details for each department.
No, but it's really, so many people want to go into business and don't know all that.
Well, what they don't understand is that if your bathrooms aren't ADA, you're going to have to bring them up.
Yep.
And that could cost you $10,000.
Right.
Do you have an extra $10,000 to start your donut shop? Which they think, oh, it's donuts. It's not very much overhead.
Right.
But if you need a conditional use for your drive-through, if you are not ADA compliant, if your firewall is not, you may not have enough restrooms if you're going to allow people to sit inside. There's a difference between office space where nobody comes in to sit and eat and having a restaurant where they sit and eat. You have to have more restrooms.
And also more parking.
And more parking. Density is another thing that comes in, is one of those words. You got to have more parking. If you're a restaurant, you have to have more parking than an office has to have. So people don't understand that. And then even if you're a sector, you're a salon, you have to have special plumbing because they don't want your hair clogging up the works for your whole
restaurant, the grease traps, etc. A lot of people don't know about that.
If you're frying food, you have to have special grease traps.
Right. And I mean, how many times have you, I've people come before the commission and said, they won't let me do this. And the reason is it's not us not letting you do it.
It's state law.
It's state law.
Yeah.
Especially with building.
Yeah, with building.
And so it's not us. It's just that we're the messenger.
Yes, you are. Which is good because I would hate for the state to be the messenger because that would be a whole nother layer of problem.
Slow to get there.
Yeah, what takes you a week will take you, 1 year.
Right.
But they don't understand that, and they don't understand why. And so the chamber, being that we are a third party, when they go to the city and they say, why are you making me do this, city? They get all mad. And I'm a third party. I can say, because that's the law and they have to make you do that.
Yeah.
So you need to make your peace with it. It's not personal. They're not trying to stop your one donut shop.
Right. Exactly.
But
well,
people
we thank
don't
you
get
for
it.
that then.
Yeah. And for us at the Chamber, it's a dream to always have been able to provide services like this for business. We have networking, we have events, but I want to be a service-driven organization.
Yeah, I like that. You want to have something concrete other than you can meet somebody else to do business with.
Yeah. And I get that, and it's okay. And for many years, since we're membership based and we don't have government funding, we had to have lots of those to keep the doors open.
Right.
But getting into partnerships with the city and things, it makes it a lot easier to provide real tangible services to people. And so I'm excited about it.
You should be. One thing that I really am pleased about, that maybe not everybody will be as excited about, is how transparent we are. And one of the things is our city clerk, Linda Cox, has really worked hard to put things on our website that people want to know. So she has a place where it's called frequently requested public records.
Okay.
So, or she has something, building permits, or all kinds of things on the website that you can go and access. So can access themselves. They don't have to pick up the phone. They can do it at home in their pajamas.
They don't have to do a formal request for records. Yeah.
Right. So transparency was really important to me when I ran for mayor, and the city of Fort Pierce didn't have a great reputation for transparency back then. And now I feel like we're one of the most transparent.
Good. Yeah. Good. Linda's good at stuff like that.
Very good.
Organizing.
Very good. And she got a lot of cooperation from other departments. And so, I'm very, very pleased about that.
I know that you're also working on getting some of the regulatory processes for opening a business that we were talking about, permits, you're trying to get all of that stuff online so you can get a simple permit online and you can follow your case through. So they did that in the city of Port St. Lucie. It has worked wonderfully. And I know the city of Fort Pierce has been working on it for a while.
Yeah.
And I can't wait.
We had a program that didn't work really well. And so then we had to invest in a lot of technology. And once we did, we were able to get another program, so that we had to ditch the other program because they didn't play well together. You know how that is about programs.
Yes. I think the city of Port St. Lucie ended up writing their own program. Their IT people did. Because it was very cumbersome to be able to access it in utilities, access it in planning, access it in building. And then have outside access from the applicants.
Right.
Yeah. So, but it's very helpful, and I'm excited about that.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of interface for us. So
very good.
Yeah.
All right. So have we covered everything we wanted to talk about? I think for the most part today, we covered King's Landing and Fisherman's Wharf.
I think public safety is really important because our police department is really, really working hard on not only making Fort Pierce a safe city, but having it known as a safe city. That's two different things.
Yes.
And so our chief really demands excellence. And one of the things we did with American Rescue dollars is we invested in a lot of technology for the police department. So every officer will have a body cam, and then not every car will have a camera, but a lot of the cars will have excellent cameras and other surveillance kind of things that will really, really help and really improve our police officers' ability to police, backed up by technology. So
yeah, I think that's important in today's world. Most people expect their police officers to have body cams and all that, but it costs money, and
it does.
It's not just you don't buy a GoPro and shove that on. I mean, there's maintaining it. There's the
storage.
Storage is the biggest thing.
Storage is a big thing, and having staff to when there is a public records request to redact it, because
there
are certain privacy things that have to be.
You can't show children and all that, you so that it has to be
inside
edited.
of people's houses.
Yeah.
You have to be very careful, and it has to be thought through. It's not a cheap thing to do.
No, it's not. So very good. And perception is always the hardest part of changing a city.
Yep.
We went through that with our school system here in St. Lucie County.
We did.
We have great schools, but for many years we did not, and it took us twice as long as it did to make them better to change people's perception about them.
Exactly. The bad news hangs around
forever.
Yeah. Right.
So yeah. Okay. We are going to invite our sponsor in.
Already?
Yes. We've been on for 25 minutes.
Wow.
I know, it goes fast, doesn't it?
Right.
So, of course, the show is sponsored by I Think Financial.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
I know
You've
them.
got you do. You have one in downtown, right across from the dry cleaners by Mervis.
We do, and one on the beach.
And one on the beach, the beautiful one on the beach.
Yeah.
Welcome, Denise Smetana. Hello, Denise.
Hi, ladies. How are you?
Good. So, a little behind the scenes here. Denise came into the studio, but she was wearing green, and we have a green screen behind. So now she came all the way down here so we could shove her in an office to talk to us. But we appreciate that, Denise. Always good to see you. The lighting looks great in there, wherever you're at.
Yeah, there's a nice view outside. I can see the stadium, so it's all good.
Okay, good. What's going on with I Think Financial? Tell us what you got. What's the big, rates? I know used car, new car.
Yeah, car rates are low if you can find a car. That's the caveat. We can't help you with that so much, but actually we are coming out with a new auto buying service November 1st, and I don't know much about it because I just got the email yesterday, but we'll have a new link on our website that will help search for cars. And we are having some community events coming up at all of our branches. The one at my branch is November 18th, but we're having community shred days. So the information is on our website. I don't know when the other branches are. I know they're starting next week at all of the Treasure Coast branches. So through the month of November. And all we ask is that people bring a food donation that we're all collecting. We collect for food for the Treasure Coast Food Bank anyway. Regularly, we're listed on their website as a drop location. But we'll have shred trucks in each of our parking lots on our designated day. It is a community event. It is so you don't have to be a member. Of course, we would love everyone to be a member, but you can just bring your shred. And I know I have a huge supply because we normally do this every year and we have not had it in 2 years. Yeah, so we have the big trucks come and gobble up all your things. So that's for us, again, it's 11 to 1 on November 18th, right out in our parking lot in St. Lucie West. And then the other 2 locations sometime in November. But same thing, 11 to 1. Just
and you can go on your website, ithink.org. We're getting a little feedback. Is that good? Okay. The website is ithink.org, isn't it?
ithink.fi.org.
Okay, very good. For all the rest of the dates. So the shredding is interesting because people don't realize they need it until we say, oh, there's a shredding event. Oh,
yeah,
I have a ton of stuff. But while you're down there, join up for the credit union, and you're eligible if you live, work, learn in
work, worship,
or
go
learn.
to school, step a toe in St. Lucie County.
Drive through. You can be a member. You could be a member of the credit union, which is a nonprofit, and all the proceeds, the dividends go back to the members in terms of lower rates. You get to vote every year on how that all pans out. So the credit union model is an older one. I mean, it's been around for a long time, but the way they do it now is much, much different because you literally could just be driving through and decide to join, I think.
Just about. Yeah. So then that's how, being member driven and being a not-for-profit, one of the things is having the shred days at every branch, from Fort Lauderdale all the way up through all of our branches in the Atlanta area. So just, we're trying to bring out more community events and things like that. You see us around a little bit more. Although I'm not doing any more outside events until the weather cools off.
Okay. We all have to have our standards, our lines. Mine is north of the Mason-Dixon after October 1st. I won't do it. Nope.
Not doing it.
Nope. It's too cold.
That's it. I about melted at the chili cook-off. So I'm and trunk or treat last night. I hopefully lost about 10 pounds.
Oh yeah, trunk or treat was outside, and the chili cook-off this year for Boys and Girls Club was outside. I managed to skip through them. Before we go, tell us your rates for used car and new cars, because you can refinance the car loan that you currently have, right?
Yes, and that's what we're seeing a lot of, is we're able to save a lot of people money. And we also have internally, we can do a calculator and drill it down to tell someone how much they're going to save, not just in their monthly payment, but how much they would be saving in their interest over the life of the loan. So rates right now are as low as 1.99%, and we can get them down even a little bit lower for shorter terms.
Very good. All right. Well, thank you, Denise, for being with us. And we're going to ithinkfi.org for more information on the free shred events. And please join I Think Financial. They've been great to our community. They've done so much for us. They do a lot throughout Southeast Florida. I think Amphitheater now is a big venue in West Palm Beach. So we're very proud to have them as a partner here. We appreciate it. Thank you, Denise. And next month, you're not going to wear green. You'll be in here sitting with me.
I'm wearing orange.
Very good. I know, what a letdown to be stuck out of the studio for a year.
I was so
excited. She's in a green polka dot skirt. We couldn't find anything to drape over her. So she's in an office.
I didn't know what that no green meant until I started doing these things. A lot of people don't know you're not supposed to wear green whenever you're going to be in the green room, right?
Yeah. I just was like, we're doing it in the studio. Can you come? Yes. Didn't give two thoughts about what I was already wearing.
At home, they see this beautiful sunrise spotlight graphic behind us, and we see a big green sheet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, and her shirt just ran right into it. She looked like a little head with little black polka dots.
She just disappeared except for her head. Yeah, that's what it does. So,
well, it is Halloween.
All right. Well, I want to thank everybody for joining us today. And of course, the mayor for being the first one in the studio here. We are a far cry from Fort Pierce. I'm hoping we can get the rest of them down here. We'll see how it goes. But it is a great studio. And thank you to Indira and her team at TCoast for getting us on today and in such short notice, because we didn't tell anybody until yesterday. So we appreciate it. Have a great day, everybody. And check us out live on Facebook, YouTube, and for a full list of other places you can view this show. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, Denise.
Bye, Denise.